Here we have a new 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid. This one comes in the SEL trim level with front wheel drive. Atlantis blue is the paint color. And then we have gray H-Tex interior. For the powertrain, we get a 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder hybrid engine that's made it to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now, as we come around to the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with LED daytime running lights. And ever since the Santa Fe got its redesign, I've really grown to love this front fascia here. It's so different, it's so unique, and it looks so good. Down here to these wheels, these are gonna be 18-inch alloy. Passive keyless entry on the front. We have our power mirror controls here, power door locks, one-touch up and down windows for the front, regular power windows for the back. We have electronic child locks and rear window locks, and then blind spot monitors in the side mirrors there. Electronic parking brake, lift gate, toggle, etc. Hood release is there. Get a manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. And here's our power driver's seat with two-way power lumbar support. Now I want to give a huge thanks to Hyundai of Cool Springs for allowing me to review this Santa Fe today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So let's check out the space here. Pretty decent in my opinion. Now what's cool is you're actually able to move the seat forward and back, and then also adjust the seat back as well. So I can lean back pretty far. So that helps. And then down here, storage cubby, pretty deep in there. And then your USB-C charge ports are on the side here. You get one here and one here, which is pretty nice. Then you also have access to the center console cubby space if you want to get in there from the back. But there's a view of the front from back here. This middle seat folds down. Bottle holders are there. And then we do get a third row. So that's the half the seat up, the other one's there. So 7-passenger setup. You get 2 evenly sized third row seats. And then the rear AC controls are there. And then you get a vent on the other side. There are the lights. You can hang some there if you want to, grab handle. And I like that we have the vents for the back right here, so it kind of reaches the passenger more easily. And then just having the space for 1, 2, 3 bottles in the side doors, or in the door panels on the side, is pretty neat. Now here's the gas tank. Access to that, just push button. And there is the rear end there. We do get LED tail lamps. And there's the space behind the third row. So not the biggest space, but there's still some usability there. That's why a setup like this is awesome, because if you just want to have that side up, you can have this side down for extra storage and whatnot. And then you have a 12-volt here. Little side storage pocket is nice. And then you can also power fold that second row down, which is nice to have. But for the third row, to get it up or down, just pull this here. And when the seat in the second row is up far enough, you can just fold it flat and then just use the same strap to pull it up. Now to the rear passenger side, top tethers are right there. Pretty easy to just fold it back into place. And again, you can use this to fold it flat or adjust it further back if you so choose. And then this is a 6-way manual front passenger seat, so we can adjust the seat back here, pump the seat up or down there, and then grab this bar to move the seat bottom forward and back. Storage here is pretty nice underneath where the shifter would normally be. 12-volt there. Little top pocket here, and then you can pull this here for the typical glove compartment. And then you even have a pocket up here for additional storage. So sometimes I feel like Hyundai's just trying to beat everybody. This is the first vehicle I've seen that has 1, 2, 3 storage pockets on the passenger side where the glove compartment would typically be. But as we come around to the front, again, 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder hybrid engine. But let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. I'm really close to the interstate. I apologize. So that's much better. Leather wrap steering wheel here. There's a horn sound. Over here to the screen, this is a 12.3 inch system here. So for audio, we get AM, FM, XM along with Bluetooth, and then wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto compatibility. Love this hybrid map here. It kind of shows you the miles per gallon you get based on your driving, electric motor use, so on and so forth. It's pretty neat. And then your settings here, vehicle settings, full with your driver assistance, your drive modes, all of that. And then in your general settings, you could change your language here. Backup cameras here, guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. And then down here we have a lot of buttons and knobs. So for the climate controls, you can adjust that on either side, dual zone. You can sync and unsync there. You get 3-stage heated seats for the front. Cut the whole system off, adjust fan speed, fan direction. And then hazards are here. Volume knob is here. Kind of a tune knob here if you want to use it for that. And then you can use your shortcuts here. So you have a favorites or custom button, setup button. And then I can even pull up the map. But this one doesn't have navigation. When you have the Android Auto or Apple CarPlay hooked up though, it will actually let you hit the map button and pull that up, which is pretty neat. Automatic brake holds here. Your drive modes, you have 3 modes, Eco, Sport, and My Drive, which I really like that because with a hybrid, I like to have either the Eco mode or to use the full output of the powertrain to get as much power as possible. Having a normal mode is just kind of like, eh. So I'm glad they did that. And we'll see how it drives after a while, but downhill brake control here. And there's the push button for the camera. I can turn that on or off. Parking sensors toggle there. Now you get 2 USB-C charge ports, wireless charging pad, extra space for a second phone. So what's cool is you can wirelessly charge here and then have the second phone over here, have that plugged in. Then bottle holders are here. That center console cubby space, removable tray, so even more space down in there. Which is pretty cool because this seems like that's as deep as it'll go, and then you can hide stuff at the very bottom. Up here, lights, SOS and all that. There's a look at the back from up here. It's that vanity mirror. Turn the light on. You have to flip that on with your hand. But back to the steering wheel itself, on the left side, blinkers. Now when the low beams are on, you can toggle the high beams, flash there. And then when you're on the auto, you can toggle the auto high beams there. Windshield wiper controls, 1-time off, intermittent low high. You can adjust that intermittent frequency here, and then your rear wiper right there. Push back for that rear wiper fluid, pull up for the front. Then you have paddles behind the steering wheel, smart cruise, adjust the speed, lane centering assist, gap adjust. We can go through the sub menus here and then use this as a scroll bar when applicable in that digital part of the gauge cluster there in the middle. Then over here, we can toggle the audio sources, voice recognition, volume, click there to mute, and then track list, radio station presets here. Another customer favorite button, and then a Bluetooth button right there. For the shifter, just hit the brake, pull that way for reverse, pull for drive, and then tap from either direction to get to neutral. Press the side button there for park. Push button start. And then I think it's in my pocket. Here's the key fob with remote start. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2025 Santa Fe Hybrid out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Santa Fe Hybrid here, whenever I get behind the wheel of a Korean automaker's 1.6 turbo hybrid setup, I always think about the Kia Sorento hybrid I used to have. And that was just such a fantastic SUV. The transition from electric to hybrid power was borderline seamless. You could barely tell. It drove so nicely, but it also, I have a Pacifica hybrid now, and the only thing that would normally be an issue with that van is the CVT, but I love having the eCVT in that Pacifica. It just makes more sense in that vehicle. A lot of these hybrids, you get CVTs and they just drive like crap. That's probably the best way I could put it. And this one, just having the 6-speed auto, it's so much more comfortable for me. It's so much more fun to drive if you do want to use your sport mode or whatever. And it just makes so much sense. You're still getting something that drives relatively nicely, but you're getting that hybrid gas mileage as well. You're not having to get a CVT to get the same fuel economy. Now, even in eco mode, you give this thing a little bit of throttle and it goes, which is very impressive. Now, again, it helps having the turbocharger there. It just feels that much quicker with that setup. But I'm gonna put it in a sport mode, and then we're gonna see how it does as we get on the interstate here in a moment. Here we go. So the initial bite you get, I guess, from the gas pedal, I guess that initial grunt you get is so nice because you have that torque from the electric motor. As soon as you put your foot into it, you feel the pull, and then you kind of feel the Turbo 4 do most of the work, but that initial pull from the electric motor is so nice. It just feels like an EV, which I really like. But let's test out the safety system here. Only going down an exit, but adaptive cruise control, and then you have the lane centering as well, or the lane keeping assist. Does a pretty good job, specifically on the interstate. It's fantastic. And then it kind of runs out here. But you get 36 miles per gallon city here, 35 highway, which is really nice. I'm gonna put it back into eco mode. But just having something that's relatively quick, that's this spacious, this big, honestly, and then you're still getting that fuel economy is just, it's a great combo to have. Now, I do want to give one more thanks to Hyundai of Cool Springs for allowing me to review this Santa Fe today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But all in all, I think it's a pretty solid deal what you get here with the SEL, just in terms of the trim, all the features that are included, just the overall power you get with the powertrain itself. Just no bad things were done with this, in my opinion. I think the powertrain is great. I think just the overall amount of features that you get on this SEL is top notch. And then, I mean, it's a Santa Fe, so the new body style, you either love it or hate it, but a lot of people just think it's so cool, it's so unique, it's so futuristic, and you really can't go wrong with a vehicle like that, in my opinion. But if you're looking for something in the mid-size 3-row SUV realm, I think this is a good way to go, specifically with this hybrid and specifically in the SEL, with all that you get for this price point. So with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe SEL.